Welcome everyone to the coaster spot, and we're back at Six Flags Great Adventure for another Project Purple update. The last time we'll be calling it Project Purple because the announcement is 1 week away. Who's excited for it? Get your predictions down there what the name is going to be. We already know the height. Apparently it grew 7 feet, so it's 382 feet tall. We'll wait for the official, stats and all that stuff. But we're excited. We've RSVP'd for the press event and everything. We're really excited to go see it. We're going to be going down to Area Force One, though, this weekend because we got to do that. And got back from the Midwest trip a few days ago, and lots of videos are already coming out. We had a crazy visit to Cedar Point with all the wildfires that affected this park, but not nearly as much as Cedar Point. So go check that video out. It just came out this morning, and wow. Project Purple's looking great. I mean, we don't have that much to show you. We haven't had views around the park. We just haven't had that time yet, so we're going to go do that. And go check out the park update as well, because lots has happened in the last 2 weeks. I believe every single ride in the park is actually open, which that's been a long time coming. So that is great to see. That's scheduled to be opened. Of course, we have some standing but not operating one ride. So that's good. But we still have those flags flying high. Looks like they're actually getting a little tattered at this point, being up there for about 3 weeks. That German flag is getting a little tattered up there. And I'm sure and no lights yet. I was informed that that's not a lightning rod. It's supposed to be another warning beacon that was required by the FAA. But regardless if it's a lightning rod or not, it is going to act like one. We'll try to get a confirmation on that next week. But yeah, lots of little work being done around the ride. The ladder has been completely installed, as you can see on the right support there. And they are, as I said, going to be around the structure for a while because they are now going around and getting those bolts to a certain spec. They're not tightened to a certain foot-pound of pressure when they're first put in. They're just putting good and tight. And now they have to go and inspect everything. But the point of the high steel workers is to get it done as fast as possible because they are expensive. The cranes are expensive, and this is not as expensive. Although having the crane on site is expensive, but you got to have it to be able to access every part of the site, or the tower, rather. So let's go inside and show you the station. I know that's had a lot of progress. And again, we'll show you what we can see, but not much really as far as visual progress. It's going to be little small updates from now on. As we mentioned, lots of electrical, the station progress, theming, all that stuff. But I'm really excited to see what this ends up being. Who else isn't? I mean, Jesus. Whew, this is exciting. Let's go. There have been 2 teasers dropped on Fridays, the last 2 Fridays. I'm sure there'll be one more before the announcement, but this was 2 Fridays ago, and the hashtag, or the thing at the end was, "It's arrived." So we'll play that teaser right now.
This is ship B728, and we've lost precious cargo. If you find our container, please don't open it.
Don't open before 7:28 because that is the press event. We'll be there. It's at 9 a.m. and really excited, or 10 a.m. and I'm really excited for that. So we'll see it. I think we're going to live stream that either on YouTube, probably on YouTube, or maybe Facebook. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can Facebook it to all of them. I'm not sure if I'm able to do that, if there's a way to stream it to multiple things. But yeah, definitely going to go live for that announcement. It's going to be a lot of fun, and then we'll have a video later that day. But here we go. Package has reached Jackson, New Jersey. Shipping update. GVV Shipping Co. Tracking update. Package have reached Jackson, New Jersey. Signature required. Handle with extreme excitement. Fragile. Yeah. I mean, those trains are going to be fragile. Those spinning cars. Allegedly. From this angle, obviously, it looks pretty much identical to what we saw last time. Because you can't even see the ladder. Nothing's been attached to the top, by the way. The warning beacons have not been attached. I'm surprised. I figured they needed to get those on there really quickly. I'm sure there's some kind of I think there might be a temporary one all the way up there, or the crane's light might actually do it. as soon as the crane goes away, they might need to have either the permanent or temporary light on the top of that tower for the warning beacons, because it is 382 feet tall. So, man, look how ominous it looks. We have more teasers. We just showed you last week's teaser, or 2 weeks ago's teaser. Let's show you last week's teaser.
Security 1 to base.
Base, go ahead.
I found something at the boardwalk.
Can you identify what it is?
Some type of shipping container. Something is trying to get out.
Oh, by the way, oh my God, I cannot wait to be back from Texas because I'm going to eat the crap out of disco fries and all that stuff. Oh my God, disco pies is basically poutine. I can't wait. And the gabagool, oh my God, I'm going straight to the Garden State fresh cut fries. All right, I got some updates here. You can see that the forms are down for the station concrete back there. And then they have a screen here just playing construction. And they kind of have like an official freaking logo now, which is pretty cool. Yeah. It'll be interesting if we remember like that code name, because like Hyperia's code name, I can't even remember what it was. It was a cool one, but I can't even remember what it was. I heard it recently. I'm like, oh yeah, we called that thing forever. I love the aging on the fence, all the drips and everything. Very cool. This is just showing like construction start to finish more or less of all the steel. So that's pretty cool. I don't know how long it is, but that's cool. I might have that in the asset folder that Great Adventure shares with me. So if we do, I guess I'll just plug it in at the end of the video. There we go. That was a fun day. Oh my God, it was so fun to be there and experiencing with all of everyone else that's part of Project Purple people. I guess we're gonna get renamed. No, we should always be called Project Purple people. I don't care if it gets updated. But yeah, it was such a fun day with lots of friends, even though it was brutal as far as the temperature. So cool. All right, let's check out the station. All right, there's the station. Looking pretty good. You can see I have a door frame there. I didn't realize it was going all the way to the ground. I thought it was just kind of a window. So, yeah, I think it's only going to be on one side. I don't know. I feel like it might be there as crash protection, possibly. I'm not sure why it's only on that side and then one side currently on the front side of the station. It'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what the renderings are going to be. And as you can see, they are doing stuff. I can barely see my screen, so I don't know what kind of stuff they're doing. But I'm sure it's important stuff, because they're in a hole. Probably more wiring and stuff, which we definitely have a lot to show you from the parking lot, so be sure to stay tuned. All right, here's just another look at the station walking by. Looks pretty good. Got a generator right there to generate electricity for stuff and doings and whatnot. And then a bunch of the groundwork has been covered up with all the holes that were there before. And then there's another video. I'm sure that will play at Teasers and stuff. But more workers doing stuff. You can see all the conduit tubes. And yeah, a bunch of groundwork and stuff. So, more forms it looks like, and then you can see the form right there that's being poured for the concrete wall at the front side of the station. And there's not another one, that's the only one so far on the front side of the station. Okay. And then you can see a bunch of wires hanging down from the launch. So we'll get into the parking lot and we'll be able to get a little bit closer for that, but that's going to be interesting. Working on wiring up the ride. As we told you, that's going to be a long and tedious project. Here's the crate. Apparently it disappeared for a minute. the shipping got lost in transit. The button is gone. So they've either lowered the sign, or this is a completely different crate altogether, or they flipped the crate around. I am not sure, but whatever's in there has gotten pissed because you have claw marks now. So I think that kind of gets rid of the whole, maybe a Kraken type thing. It's got to be a clawed type of monster. And I have no idea what kind of monster we're looking at. If there's any kind of Jersey creatures that kind of like Jersey Devil, the Jersey Shore type of tie-in that we can do. I'm not sure. But I'm kind of happy that it doesn't have that button anymore. That thing was scaring the crap out of me every time you press the button and it would just knock. It was awesome, but man, it was scary. Yeah, so this thing is pissed. Here, let's get a better sound. Yeah, that one's the shipping container, that creature. He might attack you, get through there. You don't want to piss him off too much. I love this. This is awesome. I'm glad I made it out again before the announcement because I'm sure there'll be another change before the announcement this weekend, but I'm sure we'll be able to see that change before the match actually happens. But all right, let's go ride the final Shoreline Pier ride that's finally opened, I think 2 or 3 days ago.
All clear.
All right. Oh, we have a building going up for Project Purple over here. Very cool. Building going up for the next one too. Wow, they're bigger than I expected. I thought they'd be like half the size of that. That's huge. Yeah, we're gonna have to ride this every visit now for the view of Project Purple. Because it's a lot cheaper. Oh my God. It's a lot cheaper than riding the slingshot every time. And it gets you right next to the stuff they're really working on. Oh my God, ow. Holy crap. Let's see how one person does all by himself. Oh God, oh my God. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, oh my God, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I don't know, I lost count. Oh my God. It won't stop. That was awesome. All right, here's another view of the inverted stall, the second launch. And you can see there are plenty of wires hanging down. All that wiring has begun. That's pretty cool. And we saw from our rides on Barrels of Fun that the middle launch building is got most of the building up. The second one's halfway done, and the foundation has started for the third one, which they said they were going to start as soon as they got all that high steel done. And with the Wave Swinger open, new view unlocked. Well, just kind of a closer view. Pretty much dead on with the inverted stall. As I mentioned, they're just constantly going up there to check over things, all those bolts and stuff. So sick. All right, here's a look at that spike from this angle. Looks awesome, man. So good. All right, we'll get one more view from the parking lot, but honestly, you know, as I said, the updates are going to be very far few in between after the announcement. Probably once a month. I might like record a little bit every visit, but I'm not going to post them in a dedicated update. All right, there's that Project Purple updated view right over the 3rd and 5th hills of El Toro. That looks awesome, man. Look at that. Oh my God, the bird's nest is amazing. And here's another look at the second launch of all those wires hanging down as close as we can get without the image pixelizing on the iPhone. I'm a little confused because most of that stuff is pre-wired, so I'm wondering if they had a problem, or maybe that's all the wiring going to all the junction boxes, not the junction boxes to the stators, the white little fins that you see there that are double lined all the way on this giant stall. God, it's amazing. Look at that thing. All right, go over and check out the tower from a little bit closer in the parking lot, and that's about it. There it is again in the empty lot there. Nothing really in there left other than some piping and all that stuff. Most of the materials are by the station and stuff. But yeah, I'm sure along with, the announcement, we'll probably be let on site for another tour. Maybe? I don't know. There's not really that much to see. I mean, I'll go on site anytime they invite us, but I don't really need it that often. So let's zoom in and see what we can see what they're actually doing up there. Looks like they've got some kind of device. They've got a lot of weird devices. I saw another weird device on the launch. We saw that in like 2 updates ago. I think during the topping off video. But yeah, Mach has a launch of, allegedly this is designed by Mach. Guys, we literally saw Mach rides t-shirts. On site. Yeah, they just have a bunch of calibration devices and everything, so I'm not sure what that one is. I was kind of waiting to get, oh, there it is. All right, we're getting a cool shot with El Toro. And those flags are still standing tall up there, but you can see, as we mentioned before, the beacon has not been installed on either one of the poles. So, yeah, it's looking great. There's that ladder again. That will be quite the workout. I think we were told, I think I can say this, but there are no sensors at the top there because they don't want to have to maintain anything up there. So the only thing that will be up there to really maintain is, occasionally they'll have to do some checks up there, and that they will occasionally need to go up there and change lights or inspect the lights. But as far as the ride itself, they didn't want to have to worry about anything like Kingda Ka. Kingda Ka had a sensor at the top, I believe. As soon as it went over the top, the one train could advance to launch. That if they were running 2 trains together, or they, before when they couldn't go together, Zumanjaro and Kingda Ka, 2 trains would eventually stack on the launch and the pre-launch, and then as soon as the other one cleared over the launch, or over the top hat, then it would, because there was a sensor up there. Anyways, keep it simple. It's going to be hard enough to maintain this launch as high as it goes, which is like 80 feet at least, maybe even 100. And then the inverted stall, which is also 100.5 feet tall. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. 1 week until announcement. Let's go.